Okay, all right. Prakash, request you to stay on. We're going to have this conversation with the management of Skipper, and I think you had a view on that one, so please listen in. Well, they reported a rather good set of numbers in quarter three, and year to date as well, things are looking very, very good. To discuss this and more, we have Sharan Bansal, the director of Skipper, who joins us on the show. Hi, Sharan. Good morning. Good to see you in. Well, a couple of articles were suggesting that Skipper is eyeing becoming the world's largest manufacturer of power transmission towers. So it appears you've got a big plan ahead. But I want to ask you about the near-term guidance. You're talking about growing by 25%. But Sharan, in the first 9 months, you've already superseded what you did in the entire of last year. So realistically, what is the revenue number that you should end this year with? And on that sort of a base, will you look at growing 25% each year?
Good morning, Nigel. Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me. And yes, we've had a good growth in this 9 months. So at the beginning of the year, when we closed FY23 with a top line of about 2,000 crores, we set ourselves a target of doubling our revenue over the next 3 years, which is why we came up with the guidance of 25% CAGR growth over the next 3 years. I'm very happy that this year, thanks to the strong execution, we look very, very, obviously, we've surpassed last year's number already. And obviously, we'll do much better than 25% this year. I think our goal of that doubling revenue in 3 years' time is well on track. So as of now, we would like to maintain our guidance of 25% CAGR over FY23 numbers. Of course, I would much rather come and pleasantly surprise you next year with the growth over these numbers also. The sector has tailwinds, obviously. But yes, as of now, our guidance remains 25% CAGR over FY23 numbers.
But Sharan, I'm just looking at your numbers. You'll do 3,000 crores this year only, it appears. You're already at around 2,100 crores. You're doing a run rate of around 800 crores. So realistically, what should you end this year with? Somewhere in the vicinity of 2,900 to 3,000 crores? Is that a possibility? And also, if you could tell us the polymer business. That's a smaller part of your business, but there's a big scope out there. How do you see that business shaping up? Do you have a guidance over there?
Sure. I think you're right that this year we should end with a number close to that 2,900, 3,000 mark. And in terms of polymer, we have had very good volume growth this year. Our volume growth has been close to about 35 to 40% in the 9 months, and likely the similar trend in the 12 months, which will end. However, there has been some cooling off of resin prices. So that's why we've not seen that full volume growth translate into value growth. Having said that, in the coming years as well, I think we'd like to maintain, a 30-35% revenue growth in the polymer business. And value unlocking, yes, eventually that would be the target. When that will happen, of course, we'll have to wait and watch. But yes, eventually that will be the target to spin this off into a separate number.
Okay, that's interesting. So you're sticking to your overall guidance of 25% compounded growth. And in the polymer business particularly, there's a 30 to 35% revenue growth target that you have got it. Would all of this involve any acquisitions? If yes, what are the kind of acquisitions that you're looking at? Anything in this calendar year itself? And which are the geographies that you're targeting?
Hi. So this, of course, this growth will come both with organic growth, our capacity expansion, both greenfield and brownfield. We are open to inorganic growth as I've maintained in the past. We haven't found any opportunities worth pursuing as of now. We are looking at various opportunities, whether it's India or abroad. There are certain key markets outside India which are very, very interesting. We will be pursuing them as the time comes. However, it's too early for me to say that, okay, we've identified something and they're already working on it. So probably not in this calendar year. But yes, as we go towards our ambition of becoming the largest manufacturer for power transmission and telecom towers in the world, I think definitely we should see some of these coming up in the coming years.
Okay, but you haven't identified anything yet, but which area are you looking at? Would it largely be in infra projects? Because I do notice that your contribution from engineering products is coming down, while infra projects has gone up. So is that the area that you're going to be focusing on even when you look at acquisitions?
No, I believe that the function of infra revenue growth is more temporary to this year and maybe the coming year as well, because of just the large amount of orders which we've secured recently. However, our focus on growth would continue to remain on engineering products. We are one of a significant manufacturer for our products in India, and we are growing at the global stage. So definitely our focus of growth would continue to be engineering products and polymer in the years ahead.
Right. Sharan, hi, good morning. Prashant here. What's the export contribution currently, Sharan?
The export contribution this year is approximately similar to last year in terms of value. On the percentage basis, it's approximately 30% of our overall revenue. The reason for non-growth in terms of percentage is just because the domestic business has seen a very, very sharp.
Okay. That's fine. 30%, right? Export contribution in terms of value makes.
Yes.
We've heard from other companies we've spoken with that because of the much required rebuilding efforts, because of a conflict, etc., around the world. I mean, Ukraine, etc., is an example. It's going to be a big effort. And is that? Do you see that as a big opportunity? Whenever, I mean, of course, conflicts have to end first. But do you think it'll throw up a large opportunity?
I think absolutely. More than rebuilding, the conflict of Russia-Ukraine has probably made the world a lot more aware about the need for investing in renewable and be less dependent on fossil fuels. I think that is one big shift which we have seen post the Russia-Ukraine war. And that is much more significant because the effect of that is there in a lot of countries, not just specific to Russia-Ukraine.
And how does it play into your business, Sharan?
Because more investments in renewables will necessarily involve investments in power transmission and distribution as well. So that is what we are really excited about. And that's a trend we are seeing globally, where a lot of investments in power T&D is being led by some of the other renewable projects.
Okay, very quickly, what is the margin number we should look at? Exports going up will be good news for margins. You're getting operating scale in polymer business as well. Give us a quick margin number.
In terms of margin, we have done better on the blended EBITDA basis. Last year, approximately, we were at about 9%. This year, we've done close to about 9.5%, 10% this thing. So we have seen an improvement. And the effort, obviously, will be to consistently improve upon the EBITDA numbers. But more importantly, what's going to happen is that if you look at the absolute bottom line at the PBT PAT level, we see significant improvements because from 1 to 2% PBT level, we've already at 3% plus. And that, I think there's a lot of opportunity to ultimately move towards 5% in the coming years.
Okay, thanks a lot for joining in. Appreciate your thoughts. That's Skipper been one of the biggest movers in the last 12 months. It's up 220% and very optimistic, body language from the management as well.